Alright, today we're having a look at Blast Off by Layton9677. Alright, so here we are in Blast Off, and this was recommended by Kronos453, and always up for a recommendation from them. I'm always up for a recommendation from anybody. We're going directly into a loading screen, so sorry about that. Hopefully it's a fast loading screen. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. Now, one thing I did notice, starting things off, the ratio on this one is pretty whack. We've got 66 plays, we've only got 4 completions. So, now it does list itself as long, and I'm wondering if people are burning out partway through. This is cool looking though. The gap in the door, it's a separate reality. The look here is really quite fantabulous, and I appreciate that. I do have a jump, thank you. R1. Okay. We need to get that to grow. Oh, that is slick. I'm more than happy with that. Can I climb it? No. Did I want to do that? Can I go up? Now there's an arrow going back, but maybe I should climb that tree? I don't know. Whatever. Let's just do it. Oh, we got a grappling hook. Where did we get the... Oopsie. Where did we get the grappling hook from? I also don't know. Everything is strange and... That's my fault. That is 100% my fault. I want to beat this, but I don't think we're going to beat it on video. Awkward fur. Can I get up there? Oh, it's putting water in the, Right, there's going to be a plant that grows. This is really nice looking. Like, that is... Oh, and we got bounce pads. That's, I mean, that's a... Oh, crap. Grappling hook, why? Why do you do this to me? Why do I do this to me? That's the question. Now, we're probably going to talk about this back in the hub, but to have, like, bounce pads as a thing, and then to have other ways to egress, I mean, I think we could have used those other ways there as well to cover up the gameplay element of the bounce pads. Oh, these are going to be seesaws, or, like, springy type things. I'm not a fan. I think we've established that in other... Crap, we've only got 38 seconds. This is, like, nice, though. And we got drippy water. I can't get over it. There we are. Take off that. Oh, I thought we would be able to climb, but maybe not. That's okay. Get me up here. Well, Layton9677 has done some pretty cool work with this. I'm really liking what we've seen so far. What are you? Reality stuck? Why not change it with this trippy contraption? Okie dokie. Excuse me? What did we just do? Did we break something? I hope we didn't break anything. There's fish. Oh, crumbs! We gotta go back to the hub. We'll talk about it there. See yas! And we're back. And Blast Off by Layton9677. It's a really strong yellow square. There's very little that I found to be of issue with this level. A few points that I felt personally brought it down just a little bit for me, but I like this level a lot. It's great, and I encourage everyone to play it. It's only gone 66 plays, as we talked about, 68 now because I played it a couple of times. 66 plays on it, and 4 completions, or 6 completions, considering if you're considering mine or not. And that's, I mean, I'm not really sure what's going on with that ratio. There isn't really anything I found in the level to be particularly difficult. I mean, the level says that it's long, but I clocked in, even when I was taking my time, I clocked in at around 10 minutes, which for an LBP level, sure, that may be considered a little bit long, but I didn't really find it to be a massive time investment, and certainly not compared to, like, levels in other platform games. So I don't know if that's necessarily what's putting people off of this, unless they're just simply impatient. But don't sleep on this one. This one's really good. I loved the look of this level, and for myself personally, I do tend to be drawn first off to visual presentation in levels, and that's not always fair. We've played some levels that you know, kind of look like a dog's breakfast, but the gameplay on them is really, really amazing and is really, really fun. But almost always I'm going to latch onto just how does this look as a world, and Blastoff has got such its own feel to it. It's visually distinct in a way that I don't often see levels presented, and I appreciated that an awful lot. It's well decorated. It's not overly crufted, but there is definitely crufting in there, and I do appreciate all of that. There is a cohesion to the environment, even though it is this kind of weird dreamlike state, and you've got like horses' heads and fish and things like that, but it does feel like these elements go together. I really, really liked the lighting in this level. There's a lot of playing with lighting, and I appreciate that, because I think a lot of people like don't really do that with their levels. They choose, you know, one background color or one lighting choice, and they tend to stick with that through the entire level. But the use of lighting here to delineate, you know, different gameplay sections and to give different types of moods, I thought that was really well done. And the camera work as well. I often have complaints with levels where, again, they've kind of got the cameras set up in one particular way, and they just leave it that way throughout the level, and I didn't really find that to be the case here. Cameras tend to be, you know, well pulled in when they need to be pulled in. There's a nice depth of field effect going on with the cameras, where you've got some intentional blurring going on in the background that I thought gave it a nice distinct feel. So there's like a lot of really cool stuff going on in that as well. The gameplay itself, aside for kind of like one point, is relatively simple. It's relatively easy. It does keep you moving fairly well. I found myself generally not getting hung up in too many areas. I felt like my pace was smooth throughout the level, which is something that I always appreciate. I think that's a really important point. There's a power-up that's added, you know, partway through the level. I think we saw it right at the end of the video, and this is one of the things that I felt brought it down just a touch, because that power-up is actually really cool. It looks neat. It has an interesting effect on the environment. There's one part that's past where we saw where you use it to kind of bring down these platforms, and then you stop using it so that they'll raise back up so that you can get to the next platform up. And I thought that was a really, really cool effect that we only saw in that section. You know, once you've gotten through the power-up section, it disappears, and I think that's a real shame, because it's an interesting power-up. As I said, it's well presented, it's well designed. I like the effects that it has on the environment, and then it's just kind of done. It's never returned to again. I would have loved to have seen, you know, a couple more sequences that are based around that power-up and what that power-up can do, because it's really cool. The other down point that I found, and this is perhaps your mileage may vary, but personally speaking, I hate trampolines in-game. I've never really gotten to use a trampoline in real life. You know, like, we weren't quite rich enough to be in the trampoline you know, buying segment of the economy of my family when I was young, which would have been prime trampoline days. I always liked trampolines in concept, but like, anyways, but the way that I found trampolines to be executed in Little Big Planet, it is really frustrating. It does kind of slow things down a lot. I never feel like I've got the timing right on the jump, and I just kind of feel stuck there. That was the one point in the level that I found where the pacing did drop off, because I find trampolines generally kill pacing in levels for me. You got two trampoline sections. I like the way they're presented. I mean, that they do look cool, the way the flowers kind of bend down the way they do, but particularly in the second trampoline section, there's a bit of a hazardous bit after that, where you're going to be a neat effect, by the way, jumping onto these flowers, or over these flowers that will have a wind effect going up, and then there's another one that you're going to have to cross this gap. The wind effect is going down. Like, there's a number of sections that you can die there, and the checkpoint is before the trampoline, so you've got to go through that trampoline section all over again to get to the cool point to actually move on the level. You may love trampolines, and Layton, I'm not saying that they are necessarily a poor choice for this level, or you shouldn't have used them. I just dislike them. So that brought it down a little bit for me. But honestly, this is a this is a great level. It really should have more plays. It really should have more recognition. So if you haven't played it yet, jump on it and give it the love that it absolutely deserves. Let Leighton know that you appreciate the work that's gone into this level. But I think that pretty much does it for us here this go about. So from me, Disco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you. Arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.